Have you ever wondered how a creature the size of a house survives in a place where the air itself can shatter stone? The story of the mammoth doesn't begin in ice. It begins in heat. Millions of years ago, the ancestors of the mammoth and the modern elephant were the same animal, tropical giants moving through the dense, humid forests of Africa. Life was abundant, predictable, safe. And then, something changed. A small group broke away and moved north. No one knows exactly why, but that single decision became one of the greatest gambles in evolutionary history. Because as they moved into Eurasia, the world itself was changing. Temperatures were falling, seasons grew harsher, landscapes turned hostile. And survival no longer meant adapting slowly, it meant transforming completely. They didn't just endure the cold, they became it. Over hundreds of thousands of years, their bodies rewrote themselves. Their massive ears, once built to release heat, shrunk into compact fur-lined shapes to resist frostbite. Their skin thickened into layered insulation. Even their blood changed, evolving hemoglobin that could deliver oxygen in freezing conditions where most life would fail.
You see, 15,000 years ago, the Ice Age steppes were alive with giants. Mammoths, not just ordinary elephants, moved in herds, scraping snow for frozen roots. They were machines of survival. Massive muscles, thick fur, tusks built to plow ice, and feet like shovels. But mammoths were not alone. Other creatures roamed the frozen plains. Woolly rhinoceroses, called Colodonte antiquus, trudged across the snow, scraping frozen grass. Steppe bison, Bison priscus, grazed cautiously, their eyes ever watchful. Pleistocene red deer wandered in small groups, alert to danger. Saiga antelope darted across the tundra, nervous and swift. Wild horses, Equus ferus, galloped in herds, hooves pounding frozen ground, ears twitching at the slightest sound. Cave bears, Ursus spelaeus, rested in rocky dens, hibernating through blizzards. Saber-toothed tigers, Smilodon, prowled silently, fangs gleaming, hunting calves and smaller creatures. Dire wolves waited at the edges, patient, ready to scavenge or hunt. Humans of the Ice Age survived alongside these giants. They were wrapped in furs, faces hidden against the wind, eyes sharp, minds clever. They hunted mammoths by laying traps, pits dug into frozen ground, covered with branches, ice, and snow. Patience and strategy were essential. When a mammoth fell, humans acted quickly, spears and fire in hand. Meat was roasted immediately or stored under snow for weeks, sometimes months, feeding families through the harshest winters. Bones became tools, blades, harpoons, weapons, and building materials. Tusks and massive teeth were arranged like pillars, mixed with mud, forming walls and supports inside shelters. Thick mammoth skins covered roofs and walls, insulating against the cold. Inside, bones were visible, showing ingenuity and adaptation. Predators continued their work. Smilodon hunted calves. Wolves circled, waiting for scraps. Deer, antelope, and wild horses fled, but dire wolves struck with teamwork and patience. Life was never guaranteed. Hunger stalked every creature. Blizzards tore at fur and skin. Ice cracked under the largest feet. Some mammoths sank into mud traps, others through hidden cracks in frozen rivers, minutes later frozen solid. Calves called, trunks shaking, mothers stuck in snowstorms, tusks scraping uselessly. Survival demanded speed, strength, and luck. Even healthy mammoths starved. Snow covered grass, roots froze deep, tusks scraped for nothing. Humans watched carefully, learned from predators and prey, storing and preserving, surviving in the harshest world. Every frozen body discovered today tells a story. Fur preserved, blood frozen, stomach contents revealing last meals. From mud traps to sea ice, from hunger to blizzards, life was a constant struggle, endurance and adaptation. The Ice Age was merciless, yet alive with motion. Every creature, mammoth, rhino, horse, tiger, wolf, or human, played a role in this frozen theater of survival. Survival was never guaranteed. Every step, every scrape, every hunt mattered. And as the ice melts today, more stories emerge, adding to our understanding of this harsh, beautiful, and deadly world.
A young mammoth calf struggles. Its tiny trunk scrapes at snow. The wind howls like a predator. Snow lashes its small body. Its mother is just out of sight, swept away by a sudden blizzard. Every step the calf takes is a fight. Every breath is frozen. This is the harsh world of the mammoth. Survival is not guaranteed. Even giants can fall. The mammoth was not just an elephant, it was a machine. Muscles built for ice. Fur that could survive temperatures that would freeze human blood. Tusks that plowed snow, scraped frozen earth, and fought off predators. Feet like shovels and sleds. A body engineered by evolution to conquer the cold. Yet perfection was not enough. The Arctic was merciless. Mud traps swallowed adults. Riverbanks, silt-heavy and freezing, looked solid but were wet and soft. Step wrong and the mammoth sank. The more it struggled, the deeper it went. Its massive body froze in minutes. The mud became a tomb. For thousands of years, the ice would preserve it perfectly. A snapshot of life, frozen in time. Some mammoths walked across sea ice, a frozen path stretching for miles, a shortcut to food. But the ice had secrets, cracks invisible beneath fresh snow. One wrong step, a plunge into freezing water. Some never surfaced. Even giants could be blind when survival demanded movement. Hunger stalked them like a shadow. A single mammoth needed 400 to 600 pounds of vegetation every day. In winter, snow covered everything. Grass turned to straw. Roots were frozen deep. Even tusks scraping through snow sometimes found nothing. Hunger was relentless. To stop was to die. Mothers faced impossible challenges. Calves were small, weak, dependent. A sudden blizzard could separate them in minutes. Snowstorm winds ripped through the steppe at over 100 kilometers per hour. Mothers called, calves responded. Often they were pulled apart, alone, shivering, struggling. Milk dried when mothers could not find food. Survival demanded impossible endurance. Even the strongest mammoths were not invincible. Their teeth were massive grinding plates, 6 sets over a lifetime. Grooves in tusks showed decades of scraping snow and ice. Teeth wore down to the bone. When the last set failed, they starved. The Arctic did not wait. Death was patient and inevitable. The frozen bodies discovered today are more than fossils. They are time capsules. Fur,
Skin, sometimes blood that looks fresh. Last meals still in the stomach. DNA preserved for thousands of years. Every frozen mammoth tells a story. Where it lived, what it ate, how it struggled, and how it died. Siberia holds the largest graveyards. Lyakovsky Islands, Yamal Peninsula. Permafrost preserves life in near-perfect condition. Each summer, cliffs collapse, giving up secrets. Researchers and tusk hunters blast frozen earth with high-pressure water. Ivory, bones, and sometimes whole bodies emerge. Some discoveries are valuable for trade. Others are priceless for science. A face, a trunk, a baby mammoth frozen mid-step, mother lost to wind, storm, or ice. Every frozen mammoth, every tusk, every footprint tells a story of survival, struggle, and resilience. There are more secrets buried in ice, more worlds waiting to be discovered. Subscribe and join us as we explore the past, witnessing the stories of giants, predators, and the harsh beauty of a world long gone.